Hi, it's Gary. Welcome to today's video. End of February, time to take a look at the pens I've been using and rank them. I'll do something a bit different this month. I'm going to rank the pens and I'm also then going to separately rank the inks. So join me now, down on the table, let's jump on in and start ranking these pens. Welcome down to the table. February 2025, a use me up month, all about using up pens, getting them out of the ink state and cleaning them out. So I started the month with a Kanwrite Heritage, the Majohn P139, a Nahvalur Schuylkill, an Opus 88 Omar, a Conklin All-American, and the Pilot Custom 823. I'll do a slight different scoring this month. So I'm going to do my score, which is against this R, which is the first one I managed to spell wrong. I know one letter and I managed to muck it up. Then going to rank the inks. So these are my personal rankings, remember? Then finally the P, that's where I go over to my website, take a look at the scores that came in there and use that ranking for the scores that people have voted for. So let's start by jumping straight on in. The pen I've put at number 6. I decided to give it to the Kanwrite Heritage. Absolutely nothing wrong with the pen. Love the pen, lovely writer. All of the pens are. But I'm ranking them against each other. I like the looks of this. It is a very light feeling pen. It's a piston filler. We've got a nice generous ink window there. We've got this beautiful double broad nib. It writes really, really well. The ink in here by Diamine is Noble Fur. It's a Starbright ink. Not sure if it comes over on there, but if I can catch it here, we get loads of that Starbright. So why have I put it at number 6? It's just not a pen that grabs me. It's not awe-inspiring. Some of the other pens really, really grab me visually and also with the way they write. But as I say, with this exercise, we do rank. So I'm going to rank this at position number 6. So that was the Kanwrite Heritage. Position number 5. I've decided to give that to the Nahvalur Schuylkill. Another piston filling pen. Ink window on this a little bit smaller than the others. This pen does feel quite thin to me. That's one of the main reasons I marked it down compared to the others. This really does feel slender. It's nice in the hand though. It's a nice length. It's a nice feel. Nahvalur nib. It's a medium nib. Writes really well. I did have a couple of issues with the flow of the ink. So I had to prime the feed. Once I'd done that, it wrote fine. Could be because of the heat we're having here. Could have dried out the ink in the feed. But again, as part of my marking, that's why it was marked down. The ink, Colorverse Aquarius Whispers. Love the colour. I'd have liked to have had some shimmer in there just to really make that colour pop. I think the colour is really nice. Very unusual colour for my collection. So this comes in at position number 5. So that's the Schuylkill. Let's just move this up ever so slightly. Can we get the last 4 pens in? And there we are. Let's go on up. We've already ranked that one. There we are. Now we've got them all in. There we go. So we've got 4 pens left. Position number 3. I'm giving to the Conklin All-American. Nice pen. Lovely writing pen. Cartridge converter. The converter though does screw in. So there you are. You can see the screwing out and then screwing back in. Very nice fit in the hand. Section just about hitting my sweet spot. Really nice feel. Really enjoyable pen to write with. No real negatives with this pen. It's just compared to the ones that come in position 1, 2 and 3. This was just the lowest of the ranking. I have noticed we've got some stain in here. It's actually on this material. I have used in the past a red ink on this. And we had that purple ink in this time, that Milky Way. One of my favourite inks. Absolutely love it. Really, really nice. It's a lovely purple. But then we get a gorgeous, hopefully you can see there, really thick blue shimmer coming through. Just try and get that there for the camera for you. But the whole exercise is we rank. So this comes in at position number 4. So that's the Conklin All-American. Just move this ever so slightly. Position number 3. Had to think hard now. It was getting really difficult to choose. What I decided to do is go for the Pilot Custom 823. So the most expensive pen of the selection, and that's coming in at position number 3. It's a lovely pen. Very nice pen. Nice feel in the hand, nice section. We've got that 14 karat gold nib. The nib does feel a little bit on the stiff side, so it's not got the bounce that I have on some of my other pens. The ink in here, Colorverse Sailing Stones. Very nice ink. We've got a load of shading coming through on here. I was seeing that in my writing as well. The only thing really which I do think is maybe the ink was a little bit on the light side. So maybe I need to try this in a broader pen. You know, maybe that double broad Kanwrite or something similar. I love that we can see through it. We've got the vacuum there. So this is a vacuum filling pen. So let me just pull this out. He says, take the cap off, that might help. There we go. Bit of a pain in the butt to clean, which is one of the reasons, to be honest, I've marked it down. But this comes in at position number 3. So that's the Pilot Custom 823. At position number 2, well, we've got a choice of 2 pens. Let's move this down. We've got either the Majohn P139 or the Opus 88 Omar. Hummed and hard, had a good think about this one. Position 2, I'm giving to the Majohn P139. Piston filling pen. Got a nice ink window there. Got this beautiful material, this like white sparkly. Reminds me a little bit of seeing where you've got snow with a bit of ice on the top, so you can see the sparkle coming through from the ice. Nice chunky pen, really good fit in the hand. Bit on the short side, that's one of the downsides. That's why I've put this in at number 2 and not number 1. The nib, wow, I love this nib. I've seen it labelled as either a bent nib or a Fude nib. Very nice. Gives some really nice natural line variation. The ink, Diamine All the Best. It's got a shimmer and a sheen. Not sure if it comes through. Let me try putting that different ways. No, I can't really see much coming through on my camera preview. I can see bits of green sheen, but not a lot of the shimmer. And I've got to be honest, it's similar to that in most of the pens that I've had this ink in. But for terms of pen ranking, we're coming in at position number 2. So that's the Majohn P139, which means the winning pen for this month is the Opus 88 Omar. This is another chunky pen, but it's got a decent length to it. Just look at that. Look at the length. It fits really well in my hand. A good chunky section. Again, really fits well in my hand. This one is a Japanese eyedropper. So to fill it, you would unscrew the section off the barrel. Then you actually fill into the barrel itself. The barrel is slightly translucent. So looking at this, we're virtually out of ink in there, which is, to be honest, what I would expect by this time. It's just so nice and comfortable. It's such a pleasure to use. It does hold a lot of ink. I've never measured the ink. I might have to do that. But for the size, for the shape, for the way it feels, this comes in at position number 1. So that's the Opus 88 Omar. What we're going to do now is look at the inks and how I rank the inks. At position number 6, I've put the Sailing Stones from Colorverse, purely because I found it was just too light for me. And I was struggling. It's all right on this white paper, but once you move onto a paper that is anything other than white, I was finding it was a bit of a struggle to see at times. Ink number 5, I've given to Diamine Noble Fur. It's a nice green colour. I like the colour of it. I like the flow of it, but I did have that flow issue. And when I compare it to the other ones, yeah, this is not exactly up there as my top ink. Position number 4 for the inks, I'm giving to the Opus 88. So the winning pen, the ink only comes in at position number 4. Move this up ever so slightly. This Diamine Pine Needle, it's nice. It's meant to be a chameleon ink, but I really struggle seeing the chameleon coming through. No matter how I put it, I really struggle to see anything coming through. Wherever in chameleon here, that isn't actually in this ink. That was in the Heritage, which is why we're seeing something. But the rest of the ink, not seeing anything on here. And to be honest, all month I struggled to see anything. So that's position number 4. Position number 3, I've given to the Colorverse Aquarius Whispers. Love the colour. That's actually what's in this pen as well. It's very nice, but it's a bit flat looking. That's where I was saying it could do with a bit of shimmer, just something to give it a bit of a kick. Position number 2, that goes to the All the Best in that P139. Love the colour of the ink. It's really nice. I love that we get that green sheen coming through. No problems with that. Often see that. I just wish we would see a bit more of the shimmer. So position number 1 goes, as I've already said, it's my favourite ink, I've got to be honest, to Colorverse Milky Way. I just love this ink. I think it's really nice. I think the name matches it. I just love the way it looks. Our final set of scores. These are your picks. This is from my website where you could go and vote. So position number 4, because we had 2 ties. So position 4 we give to the P139, which is interesting, isn't it? And also to the Schuylkill. The Schuylkill one, yeah, matching what I was thinking, whereas the P139, wow, it's a very different score. At position number 3, we go to the Pilot Custom 823 and also to the Conklin All-American. So again, I would say both of those very much match up with my way of thinking. Position 2, that goes to the Kanwrite. So very, very different than what I was thinking. I put this as position 6, where, as in the poll, coming out position number 2. That means the winning pen actually matches my thinking, and it goes to the Opus 88 Omar. Let's swap on over and we'll take a look at the additional pens that I brought in this month. Just dropping in to interrupt your regular programming. Would you like to help support the channel? If so, please consider joining as a member. As a member, you'll get early access to my videos. I normally upload them a couple of days before they go out, and as soon as they're uploaded, they'll be released to members. There'll also be a shout out at the end of the videos, and then as we get the members coming in, we'll actually chat among ourselves and work out what other perks, what other things you'd like me to add in. You know, would you like maybe a monthly live chat just for members? All down to us. So please, if you can, consider joining the channel. A link will be in the description down below. So the first pen that I brought in was by TWSBI, and it was the TWSBI Draco. Piston filling pen. Ran out of ink yesterday. I haven't had time to clean it. Ink window, and I'm always going on about this ink window. Not really usable. You can just about see where there's a little bit of ink in there, but really is a struggle. And the nib, just too small. Is it worth $215? I've got to be honest, I really don't think it is. But saying that, I'm also glad I've got it because I love writing with it. It's just, to me, is a bit overpriced. Next up, from Admoc, we've got the Admoc M800. Another piston filling pen, but no ink window this time, so a bit difficult to see your ink level. There we've got the nib on it. Beautiful. I really enjoy writing with this pen. It's a nice feel in the hand. I believe it's a very, 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 very close copy or clone of the Pelikan M800. I don't have one to compare against, so I can't 100% say. Still, it's an enjoyable pen. It's a really nice colour. We've then got the Jinhao 100. This is the skeleton version. This was gifted to me. There we go. This is a cartridge converter. There's the converter. Nice pen. I like my Jinhao 100s. I've got a number of them. And I just find they're very nice to write with. Very easy to write with. Plus, they're also easy to swap the nibs, which is what I've done on this one. So the nib on here is by Italics, and it's a medium cursive italic. So here, I don't know how well you can see on the camera, the nib is actually cut so it's on an angle, whereas most of them go down and it's like a little rounded tip, which means you get a load of natural line variation, which we're seeing here. And with this Colorverse Kilonova, we've got this beautiful colour, but then there's also a nice, hopefully you can see, a nice red sheen to it. With that Admot, we also had Diamine Vibe, which had a nice red sheen. Just move that up. The next pen is my new baby, my latest pen. It's a Pelikan M1000. This is in Renaissance Brown. Got a broad 18 karat gold nib on here, and look at the size of that nib. Yes, you can see lighter blue on there because I've changed the ink. I ran out of ink. One of the things I've noticed with this, the ink runs out very quickly because it's such a generous writer. It's a broad nib, but to me, just looking here, it's more like maybe a triple broad, or is it a quadruple broad? Very, very, very generous, very wet writer. Uses a lot of ink. So I've changed the ink in here just this morning. I've now got Diamine Yuletide. Yep, I'm going for a contrasting ink, just to give you an idea. Diamine Yuletide. Very wet though. Uses a lot of ink. Very, very expensive. But oh, it's a beautiful pen to write with. Finally, from Pen BBS, we've got the Pen BBS 308. I love this colour. It's like a really, I don't want to say it's like a neon blue, but that's what it reminds me a little bit of. Very, very vibrant, very bright. Cartridge converter. Loads of threads there, so it's possible I would think to eyedropper it. I don't intend to try. There's the cartridge converter. Put them back on. Here we've got the steel Pen BBS nib. It's a medium. I do want to try it with a different nib, but I struggle to get the Pen BBS nib that I want to try it with, so I'm holding out, but then eventually I will get it. I want to get one of their calligraphy nibs. It's enjoyable to write with though, and this Diamine Cosmic Glow, again, it's a nice red sheen in there. Got a thing about red sheens at the moment. So that's the Pen BBS 308. Let's get this out of the way and I'll fetch in the winning pens for one final look. So, today's pens we had at position number 6, the Kanwrite Heritage. Position 5, Nahvalur Schuylkill. Position 4, the Conklin All-American. Number 3, the Pilot Custom 823. Number 2, the Majohn P139. And the winning pen, the Opus 88 Omar. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. How would you rank the pens? How would you rank the inks? Please drop your rankings, your thoughts down below. Let's kickstart the conversation. Please hit that thumbs up button. Every time you like, every time you comment, just helps with the YouTube algorithm. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel so that you can get new videos as I release them. I'll talk to you again soon.